Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings to all you guys out there. I hope this video finds you well. I get asked this question all the time: what made me become a Muslim? Why did I revert? That's right, white guy covered in tattoos is a Muslim. Shocker. A little bit of backstory: my dad was a fundamentalist Baptist preacher. I grew up fundamentalist Baptist. Went to church all the time as a kid. In my adult life, I kept going to church because I thought it was the right thing to do, but I never felt it was right for me. Later on down the road in my adult life, I became friends with a Muslim and was genuinely curious about Islam. Every time I saw him, I asked him question after question after question, to the point where I thought he would kick me out and say, "Leave me alone, why are you asking so many questions?" But the more questions I had, the more answers he gave me. So about 2 years ago, he invited me to come to prayer with him on Friday. And I'm like, sure, yeah, I'd love to go and see what's up. I want to see what's going on. We get to the mosque, and I'm sitting there thinking I'm going to be in the back just kind of watching, seeing what it's all about. And he's like, no, you're going to come pray right next to me, right next to everybody else. You're going to get the full experience. And after we got done praying, and I was still down on my knees on the floor, I never felt an overwhelming peace in myself. And I felt in my heart that I found something that I was missing. We left the mosque that day, we went out to eat, and we kept talking about Islam. And the more he's talking, the more I'm thinking this has got to be what's right for me. So he gives me a copy of the Quran. I took it home, and I hate reading. I am not a fan of reading. You should be a fan of reading, though. Went home, picked up the Quran, and just hit the book running. I couldn't put it down. I just kept reading and reading and reading and reading. And the more I read, the more I knew this is where I was supposed to be. Next week, I was so 100% certain that this is what I'm supposed to do with my life. I went and said my Shahada the next week at the mosque. So that was about 2 years now. And ever since then, I've become so close with people, especially friends who are Muslim at the mosque. Not just friendships are built. I mean, I'm part of these people's families now. They treat me like I'm part of their family. I've never been accepted like I have been with Muslims before. And that's a shocker, because everyone thinks Muslims are evil and Muslims are bad and Islam's the devil. And if anybody thinks that, they need to take a step back and do their own research. You need to read the Quran yourself, and you'll see it's not what the Western media portrays it to be. It is such a peaceful, wonderful religion that has given me so much joy in my life that I can't even put it into words sometimes. Islam's not bad. Muslims aren't evil. Muslims are some of the nicest and caring and genuine people you'll ever meet in your entire life. How my parents reacted, or rather how my father reacted. He's got a degree in theology and religious studies, so I was pretty apprehensive to go to my parents and tell them that I became a Muslim, especially after all the stories you hear from other people telling their parents and the way they reacted. But my parents were genuinely happy and full of joy that I found my way to God. So much so, my dad even said that Muslims follow the teachings of Jesus, peace be upon him, more than Christians do nowadays. And they are so supportive, and I am so blessed to have them in my life. They're so supportive, in fact, this year during Ramadan, they're actually going to fast with me all month long, and they're going to come to prayer with me. So I hope we can break the stigma about how Muslims are evil, because we're not. We're genuinely happy, good, God-fearing people who only want the best for everybody else, despite your race, religion, or your gender. So let's spread the word and try to get it out there that we're good, we're not evil, and may Allah bless all of you and bring you peace and happiness.